Hey there guys, this is Sam
and Justin
at the Survival Review, and today we are going to be talking again about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but going into spoilers this time.
Yes. So if you haven't seen the movie and want to, don't watch this video, but then again, the movie's been out for almost a week now, and I'm pretty sure everybody has seen it, because it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
If you're planning on seeing it, you've seen it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
either way, just
in case we made a separate video, because we didn't want to ruin it for that 1% of people that haven't seen it.
Yeah, for those like 2 people in the world who still haven't seen it, like my brother still hasn't seen it, so for him,
there you go.
That whole video is just for him.
Just for you.
He's not going to watch it. But anyway, so spoilers. Where do we begin?
So, the first thing to talk about would be Ego, I'd say.
Yes, Ego.
So Ego, people who know the comics, I didn't know any of this.
But yeah, he's basically a living planet.
He's a living planet, and he's the bad guy of the movie.
He's the bad guy of the movie, yeah. It's pretty obvious when you get to like the halfway point in the movie, and there's no clear bad guy yet. Which was kind of like one of the flaws we couldn't really talk about in the last video, is how like the movie didn't have as much focus in the middle, because like I didn't exactly know like what was going on. Like I knew those gold people were going after them, but I'm like, they can't be the bad guys.
I mean, Rocket just stole some batteries.
Yeah.
That can't be. I would love it if that's the trigger of the conflict of the whole movie.
Yeah.
But
so that's also kind of added to kind of the unfocusedness in the middle half. But it's because they were trying to build up to Ego to reveal that he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
But that being said, when it turns out he is the bad guy, I thought that was all really good.
I thought it was handled very well.
Yes.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I would say one thing that bugged the hell out of me is the scene where Star-Lord realizes this stuff. Mm-hmm. When Kurt Russell is there talking, and he outright says, "It broke my heart to give your mom that tumor." And I'm like, why in the hell would you say that? Yeah, no matter what his motivation is. First of all, I don't know why the hell he would do that.
It kind of made some sense, because he figured that like he was so in love with her that like he wouldn't want to do what he's doing now to like take over.
I suppose, something like that. But for that, fine. I'll put aside my questions for that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as a plot point, like the fact that he actually did that. I actually think that's a pretty crazy reveal. But the fact that I just didn't make any sense that he would reveal it to him at that exact moment.
There was no reason. The only reason for him to reveal that was because that was the part of the movie where Star-Lord needed to have someone to be like fighting.
Yeah. It's not like Star-Lord never mentioned that he loved his mom a lot earlier on.
He's mentioned it constantly.
Yeah, so it's not like he didn't know or didn't expect that to happen, you know?
Yeah, so if you want Star-Lord to cooperate with you, why the hell would you
tell him that you killed his mom?
You killed his mom. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
That was one thing that bugged the hell out of me in the movie.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying, but I do feel like there's kind of a missed opportunity with Ego in the fact that, you know, killing him off at the end of this movie. I feel like the character of Ego, I know they made him Star-Lord's father, which is not in the comics, but like they made him Star-Lord's father, so it's really important to the story. But I feel like Ego is such a big character that I feel like it kind of sucks that they just killed him at the end of this movie.
A little bit.
I feel like there's a lot more they can do with him in future, like Marvel movies, not just Guardians movies, but just Marvel movies in general.
But the thing is, you kind of had to kill him off, because if they hadn't killed him off, then Star-Lord is a god, and he literally can't die.
Yeah.
So it's kind of something that needed to happen.
Yeah, and like that was a fun element in the movie. Star-Lord basically being a god and having like superpowers. Mm-hmm. Though I am glad that he lost him at the end of this movie.
But he needed to. Because he would have been far too overpowered to be fighting Thanos in the next movie.
You can't have a god fight Thanos. No. Just like one punch and he'd be down. So it made sense, and I'm kind of happy they did that. Just like, not even for Thanos, just in general, it'd be weird having Star-Lord running around with superpowers in the next movie. So that was still a fun element, though. A fun thing to differentiate from the first film. So I liked all that. Mm-hmm. And then you get to the character of Yondu. Who, again, gets so much more to do in this movie, and it's Michael Rooker, so he's great. Awesome. Like, the world needs more Michael Rooker.
You need more Michael Rooker, damn it!
He needs to be in everything.
I want to see whatever that James Gunn written movie is that they recently did.
Yeah, the Belko experiment.
I've heard mixed things, but I want to see it.
But it has Michael Rooker.
It has Michael Rooker. So his scene in breaking out of this jail that these guys are holding him in. Oh, so great!
I love that. Yeah,
I love the scene. Really fun. Not afraid to kill everyone. He just straight up
He probably has the biggest body count in any Marvel movie, technically.
For sure. I mean, like, for actual villains that aren't, like, faceless. Yeah. Like, you could say the robots or whatever, and Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
They just kill people.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great. The arrow goes through everyone's
And
heads.
like, who would have watched the first movie and thought that Yondu and Rocket would have such good chemistry together?
Oh, it was awesome.
Like, they worked so well together. Like, I would have watched a spin-off of just Rocket and Yondu doing stuff. I would have been okay with that.
Totally.
Like, that was great. And I thought all the kind of like the emotional stuff that I was mentioning in the last video that works is the stuff of the characters like who were bad guys in the first one turning good in this one. All of that worked very well. Like even Nebula, Gamora's sister, kind of being good at the end, kind of it fit.
It fit. Nebula, I think, was a little weaker than Michael Rooker. Not really performance-wise. It's just like a less focused on character.
But like,
I suppose.
all I'm saying is, you watch the trailer and see like Nebula and Yondu are part of the group, and we're like, but they're bad guys in the last one. Is this going to be forced? It didn't feel forced. Like all the transitions to being good guys, all are actually really solid and really well done. It made sense.
It all fit because it's kind of explained that Yondu, so he was a Ravager, he broke their rules, so he was exiled from the Ravagers, and that's why he's this thieving guy and all that.
And all that stuff, that was good. And then, of course, when we get to the end and Yondu dies.
Yes.
Like that scene, despite it being really obvious that it was going to happen.
Yes, I predicted way early on in the movie because Sylvester Stallone practically says it.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone is like, when you die, we're not holding the Ravager funeral for you. And I'm like, oh, he's going to fucking die, and they're going to hold a Ravager funeral for him.
Yeah, but that being said, his actual death scene was really good. Especially, like, Chris Pratt sold it.
Yeah, because it's kind of established more that Yondu was he was the true father figure for Star-Lord, like, whereas Ego was Ego.
And like, his name is freaking Ego.
His name is Ego.
I like the kind of reveal that the main reason Yondu actually kept Star-Lord was that he knew that Ego was actually killing all the people, all of his kids, so that's why he kept him.
It's not because he needed him for thieving.
Yeah.
Like he was telling people.
That was just the added bonus. But
it was an added bonus.
But that was actually a great reveal, and again, like, he sold it. And even when we get to the Yondu funeral scene, that was also really well done.
It was really good. I don't know, I love that image of the body burning.
Yeah, and like the ashes or whatever kind of like going off into space. That was really good. I loved all of that. But I mean, it just kind of make me feel kind of sad that I won't see Michael Rooker again in these movies.
I love seeing Michael Rooker on the big screen. He's an actor that doesn't get enough love, I feel. And hopefully after this movie he gets more cool roles we can see him in.
Yeah, that is kind of disappointing, but it fit this movie, though. It had a good beginning, middle, and end to like his character that I really enjoyed.
And it also proves that they're willing to kill off characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Finally.
Because
characters who aren't Quicksilver, they're willing to kill.
Characters we care about, basically.
Basically, yeah. Also, one of the great surprises of this movie, it's not really a surprise to some people since like it was technically announced early on, but we didn't know what it was actually going to be. It's the fact that Sylvester Stallone is in this movie.
Yeah.
I knew that he was going to be in it going in. I'd heard that like a while ago, but
I didn't. I'm in the theater, and I don't even know if you saw me do this, but I see his name come up in the opening credits, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? Okay, sure, I'll take it.
I knew he was going to be in it, but I didn't know he was going to be playing.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, the amount of screen time he had in the movie is what I expected him to have. Until I saw his name in the opening credits. I'm like, I thought he was going to be in it more since his name was in the friggin' opening credits.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't, but like, whatever. That was just kind of a weird thing. It was just nice seeing Stallone's name in the opening credits.
Yeah, it was cool.
But like, his character is, I forget his name, but he's kind of he's a Ravager, basically. Like a Ravager leader. And he has one brief scene at the beginning with Yondu, which was a cliffhanger reunion. Since both Stallone and Michael Rooker were in Cliffhanger together.
It's true. That's true. Oh my god.
So we didn't get our Tango and Cash reunion with Kurt Russell and Stallone.
No.
But we got our Cliffhanger reunion. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Not really. I would have loved to see Stallone and Russell together. Not in the movie.
Would have been cool, but okay.
Yeah. And then he appears at the end at Yondu's funeral. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, in the post-credit scene.
Yes.
We'll get to post-credit scenes in a minute, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about post-credit scene-wise. So we'll get to that in a minute.
Now, for me with Stallone, I didn't know what his character was in the comics or any of that. So I was
actually me neither. I read it up afterwards.
Yeah. So both of us were really just kind of confused a little bit because we're like, are they setting up for some other movie? Are they setting up? Are these guys going to be in Thor Ragnarok or something? And maybe they will. I don't know, but
still, the fact they have to be because it's Stallone, and then at the end you see his crew has Ving Rhames.
Yes.
In there, who just
so they're gonna be in something else.
Yeah, they're not just gonna cast like Stallone and Ving Rhames in a movie just for cameos.
Yeah, and I know the actress. I can't remember.
Yeah, I forgot her name,
but I've seen her in other things.
Oh yeah. But like, I mean, part of me, like, just me being, I'm a big Stallone fan. I love the guy. But like, part of me is kind of wishing that like he had like a different kind of role that he could be in more movies. You know what I mean? Than that role. But I know like a lot of comic fans would probably just like think it's so cool that he got cast as such an obscure like comic book character. Or just the fact that like Kurt Russell got cast as Ego the Living Planet. But like, I love seeing Stallone in here.
Yeah, he was really cool to see. Didn't do a lot.
And the fact that now the entire like cast of Creed is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because you have Stallone in this one, Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther, with director Ryan Coogler directing Black Panther, and then the love interest in Creed, she's in Thor.
Which Ragnarok. Is like, everyone's getting together.
No, they gotta do a whole like Creed reunion movie. Just set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then post-credit scenes, let's talk about that.
Yes.
There's a lot of them.
There are a lot.
And, you know, some are just kind of jokey moments, and the other ones are actual, like, legit stuff. The jokey ones were fine. You have, like, the Sean Gunn character playing with the arrow.
Yeah.
Just cool. He got a lot more screen time in this, which was nice.
I like Sean Gunn.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. And he looks a lot like James Gunn.
Yeah.
So I see him and he's like the embodiment of James Gunn in the movie for me.
Basically. And I liked him having more screen time and actually like having like kind of an arc and actually like being on Yondu's side for the movie. I thought that was all great. I liked seeing him in there. Yeah. Just again, he had some of those annoying jokes. It's not his fault. It's just the writing's fault. But that's the first post-credit scene, him messing with the arrow and stabbing Drax and like the neck and him just screaming.
That's a funny joke.
That was great just to hear Drax screaming off camera for like a full like 20 seconds.
Yes.
That was great. Then, I'm not sure these are going to be in order, but whatever. Then you have Teenage Groot, which is fun.
Better than Baby Groot. God.
Teenage Groot was fun.
It was fine. I liked it. Good joke.
And then you have the one with Stallone and his crew, who in the comics, that crew is actually the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Because like Star-Lord and Gamora, they actually weren't the original Guardians of the Galaxy, just like how like Wolverine and Storm weren't the founding members of the X-Men.
And just like what's his face, Paul Rudd, that
Ant-Man
isn't. He's not the original Ant-Man.
Yeah, it's Hank Pym. Mm-hmm. So that's like the original crew, and it's them getting together and just ends with Stallone saying, "Let's go steal some shit."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, they're probably gonna appear in like probably maybe Thor Ragnarok, which would be really
That's
cool.
my guess.
Probably, and probably Guardians 3. But in a way, I kind of just want to see a spin-off of Stallone and his crew stealing shit.
Yeah.
It won't happen, but I want that.
I would love it.
Stallone in space stealing shit with Ving Rhames and other people, like.
That sounds. Sign me up.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
Down.
Also, did you know that the like robotic character that I watched out was actually voiced by Miley Cyrus?
No way.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then for like me, I think it's really cool. The guy with kind of like the diamond face, who was like Stallone's right-hand man, is actually played by Michael Rosenbaum, who's most known for playing Lex Luthor in Smallville, and it's still to this day the best live-action portrayal of Lex Luthor. He's friggin' phenomenal.
Yeah,
and
you mentioned that to me when we went out of the theater.
Yeah, and just a really cool guy in general, and just. Despite the fact that you don't actually see his face, it's cool that he's in here. Like, he's friends with James Gunn. That's why he's cast in the movie.
James Gunn just seems like the kind of guy who's like friends with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I'll be in your movie.
Yeah, but like, how lucky is that? I get to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I get to be Sylvester Stallone's right-hand man.
Yep.
Like, that's so lucky. Also, Yondu was original member of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, which fits because he was a Ravager.
Yeah.
All that stuff where he was exiled from.
Yeah, so it kind of connects it in a way, which is really cool.
It's really neat.
So you kind of got the original Guardians of the Galaxy in this movie, in a way. And then you have the one where the gold people reveal that they have Adam Warlock, who I don't know much about, but I know he's a big character. Like, they've been talking about him since the first Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
I know nothing about him.
I actually don't. I actually don't either. Like, but I know he's important. I know he's going to come into play probably in Guardians 3. So that's probably the biggest tease for the third Guardians of the Galaxy. It's probably that one. That's probably the big, like, third movie setup. Because you know it's not going to come into play in friggin', like, Infinity War. Then you get to the Stan Lee one, which is actually really friggin' cool if you know the comics. The first time you see him in the middle of the movie.
Yes.
So I guess he was kind of right when I saw him at C2E2. He said he has two cameos in the movie. I actually saw Stan Lee in person. I actually met him a couple weeks ago at C2E2. And at his Q&A panel, he mentioned that he is going to have two cameos in Guardians 2. It's kind of true. It's the same cameo,
same
but like
cameo, but
he had two of them. Yeah, and the first time you see him, he's just sitting in space in a spacesuit, talking to these aliens called the Watchers,
Yes.
who are these big interdimensional beings in the Marvel
Big
comics.
brains.
Yeah, they basically watch over everything in Marvel, like the alternate dimensions and everything. And the biggest rumor for all these years was always that that Stan Lee is actually a Watcher, and he's like the same guy in every Marvel movie. And so this is kind of, in a way, confirming that, not exactly, because he's still kind of like a spaceman just talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he could just be like an informant, like talking to the Watchers about what he saw.
Yeah.
Because he does mention that one time he worked for FedEx, which he did in Civil War. He was the FedEx guy. And also it's kind of cool because it also might connect it to the Fox X-Men movies, because they watch over other dimensions and other alternate universes. So maybe Stan Lee in the X-Men movies is the same Stan Lee in these movies.
Maybe.
If you think about it, it's kind of fun. It's just a fun thing.
Yeah, it's just a little gag, but it's still neat to have.
Yeah. And I know a bunch of comic fans are going crazy actually seeing the Watchers on the big screen. Even me, I'm not too familiar with them, but I know of them, and seeing them on the big screen is actually really cool.
Yeah.
And then of course he has the final post-credit scene at the end is him just talking, and they just get tired of him and walk away.
Yeah.
Which is just a great moment. It's I love Stan Lee's cameo in this movie.
Really fun.
Also, speaking of cameos, you do see the Jeff Goldblum character in the credits.
Yeah.
Dancing in one of the corners.
It's just a tiny little nod to he's in the universe now, which is great.
I also saw another person, a picture of him, and I couldn't tell who that person was. Did you notice that when you saw the credits?
Maybe.
It was just kind of one of the guys that came up on the side in the picture, and I couldn't tell who it was. It looked like a human face. I couldn't tell because it was colored differently, Mm-hmm. But I didn't know who that was, and I was I wonder if anybody knows who that was. If it was actually somebody important or a reveal of something. I don't know. Because there's a bunch of little nods throughout those credits. You see the dog from Guardians of the Galaxy. There's also a comic book character appearing there.
Yeah.
And of course you have the song during the end credits. It's sung by David Hasselhoff.
Yes. Which was also a pretty funny cameo.
Yeah, well, that worked. I thought because it wasn't him telling a punchline or having a joke. It kind of made sense story-wise.
It was also just I saw it coming because the moment he mentioned I told people my dad was David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, which actually works.
It does. It's funny. I didn't mind it.
It works. It's funny, but it's also kind of emotional. It works with Star-Lord's character. Actually.
A little bit, and it works with Ego that he would kind of play off of that.
Yeah. And also, it worked at the end. We kind of realized that he kind of compares Yondu to David Hasselhoff, and he's well, I guess my dad kind of was David Hasselhoff. I like that. Yeah. It's a good moment. But I like the use of David Hasselhoff in this movie. Never thought I'd say that with the Marvel movie. Well, he was Nick Fury in the 90s.
That's true. Oh my God, it's all coming full circle.
That is true. Yeah. It's all connected somehow.
Everything's winding together. It's all constructed finely.
But the fact that he sang a song that's set to a pop 70s disco version of the Guardians theme was great.
Get off of my back, damn it! I didn't learn parenting. My daddy was a planet.
You said when you initially saw you didn't like the Pac-Man moment.
Oh yeah.
You still think that way after seeing it again?
I still didn't like it.
Yeah, I agree. The mention of it is funny.
Yes.
And he's you can make it whatever you want. He's I'm going to make so much weird stuff. I'm going to statue of Pac-Man. I'm that's great.
The line, I'm going to make some weird shit.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like that. That fits the character.
Yeah.
When he makes a giant Pac-Man, that to me, that just feels like what I feel in a lot of the movies that are really just trying to play to that nostalgia factor, where they're just you remember Pac-Man?
Yeah.
And sort of the same thing with the gold people when they're in their ships. It's an 80s video game, is both with sounds and the way that everything is. Just it doesn't... That didn't bother me as much as the Pac-Man thing, but it's just it doesn't need to be like that. You don't have to have those... That didn't really fit for me.
Yeah, it was kind of unnecessary.
Especially because the gold people didn't really... a joke that I liked with the gold people is they've got the carpet coming down and they're rolling the thing out and it gets caught. And it's just that's a funny moment. I like that. It doesn't fit so well when it's just they're an advanced civilization, all this. They're not going to be referencing old video games in their designs.
The idea that they're not actually piloting the ships is actually a unique and funny idea.
That's cool. I like that, but
it was,
don't have to make it.
It was trying to be 80s video game, and I get it. Yeah, that just kind of adds to some of the jokes that just kind of fell flat. This is the first movie in the cinematic universe to actually make Thanos threatening and scary, and he's not even in the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Like all the stuff that that Nebula talks about, how like they slowly replaced her body parts with like mechanical parts, like that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's a creepy thing.
Yeah.
And that's a hell of a lot more creepy than showing Thanos sitting in a chair.
Yeah, and
Being big and
like
pink.
yelling at the bad guy from the last movie. Like
Yeah.
he hasn't done anything yet to really to be an intimidating villain.
James Gunn has made him more intimidating without even showing him.
Granted, he's the one that showed him the most in the first Guardians, but,
True, but
I love those moments. So I like that extra character development with Nebula that made her more interesting. Like in the first movie, she was kind of just there, and you had a lot of questions like what is she? And this actually explains that and actually goes into detail and makes you care about her and makes Thanos to be a really fucking bad guy. And I
it
love it.
also revealed a whole lot with the relationship with her sister.
Yeah.
And all that seemed, I thought it worked really well.
Oh yeah, that worked very well. So I think we pretty much covered most of the really big spoiler stuff for this movie.
With that's just about everything.
Yeah, there's probably a few more things we could think of, but I think we talked enough about this movie.
At the end of the day, you should just watch the movie.
Yeah. If you have watched it, watch it again. You'll probably like it more.
Yes.
Like he did. So, and I probably will.
So.
That's Guardians of the Galaxy.
No. I'm not
Get out of here.
Again.
See ya.
Leave.
Go home. Wait, you are home because you're watching this on YouTube.
They could be on their tablets.
On their smartphones.
They could be watching this on their Zunes. Get it?
Yeah! Oh, fuck.
I didn't like
That
that.
was really disappointing when the cassette.
I know. I thought they were just going to give him another cassette player. And
Me
I was
too.
like,
I mean, somehow they managed to save the one from the ship in the first movie
Yeah.
after that thing fucking crashed and like was destroyed.
yeah, seriously.
Somehow
just,
they were able to save that. Like,
just get him a new cassette player. Get him like a mini disc Walkman or something. Something Zunes are. I think that would have been too obscure. They wanted something obscure, but something that everyone still knows, and they're like, haha, who the hell had a Zune?
yeah. Either way, though, that's Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Just a lot to talk about, and it's mostly a solid movie.
I enjoyed it a lot more the second time around, but I did enjoy it quite a bit.
Yes.
So that's everything we've got to say about it.
Yeah.
And until next time, we'll see you guys later. We did not know how to end that one.
No, yeah, we just kept going, just coming up with shit.